national anthem.
I try anymore. I don't even know. I don't.
That's been my face, literally watching the Terps this season. And every other Maryland fan, supporter, student, contributor.
I'm awake, it's time to break free. I'm levitating.
Maryland, they lost to Rutgers last week, 31-17. I don't know what you guys want me to say. I didn't said all that needed to be said. I've fussed, I've cussed, I've given you all I've had, Terpsville. I've given you all I have, Flex on Family, as only I can, as I try to stop my phone from going off because everyone wants to call and text you, and I want to get on here and talk to the good people, but I don't know what you want me to say. Maryland lost to Rutgers 31-17. I'm sure you know by now. Pretty much was their last winnable game. I put the picture up as I started. This is pretty much every Terps fan right now. And yeah, we got the look of just a factory of sadness. We know the Browns said that. That's what it is down at College Park or wherever they play on a Saturday, Friday night, or whenever they do take the field. It's not even mediocrity anymore. And I was thinking about this, and people were saying it, and the great Jeff Erman tweeted out, just imagine if they didn't have that block kick against USC. They would literally be winless in the Big Ten right now. They would be 0-7. They're 1-6, 4-6 coming into this game, and they face Iowa, who is actually having a down year. They're only 6-4, 4-3. A lot of quarterback decisions with them. They don't really have a guy. They're starting a new quarterback today, or this Saturday, excuse me. As Iowa's looking to make it 9 straight years with at least 8 wins, not including the 2020 season, which was shortened as they had wins over Maryland and Nebraska. Maryland is trying to win their final 2 games to reach a bowl eligibility status for the 4th straight season. As you can see, Caleb Johnson is the guy to watch. And he's the key. If you can stop him from being over 100 yards, you can win. If not, you'll lose. It looks like they'll be starting quarterback at Jackson Stratton, a walk-on from Colorado State. He did play as a 4th string in the second half, lost to UCLA, 3 for 6, 28 yards, 13 play, 61-yard drive for a tying touchdown as well. Ty Felton was announced as a Biletnikoff Award finalist with 86 receptions, 1,040 yards. So big shout out to Ty Felton. It's Ty time because he gets it done each and every week, no matter how good or bad the Terps are. He always shows up and plays big as well. So big shout out to Ty Felton as well. And if I'm being honest, I looked at this game when the schedule came out. I actually thought it was a winnable game for Maryland. I said, well, maybe they can beat Iowa finally. No, I don't have any confidence, any faith. Maryland is hosting its final home game. They play Iowa. It's the noon kickoff. Of course, you can watch it on Big Ten Network and the Maryland Sports Radio Network 105.7 locally. Senior Day at College Park, honoring the 22 seniors. So shout out to those guys, student athletes getting it done, graduating. So good job on there and there. Maryland, Ty Felton, 86 receptions, 1,040 yards. He officially passed DJ Moore, who had 80 receptions in 2017. 4th wide receiver with 1,000 yards in franchise history. One of 5 players in the Big Ten since 2020 with 1,000 or more receiving yards through 10 games, joining Jackson Smith-Njigba, Marvin Harrison Jr., David Bell, and Charlie Jones. It's going to be intriguing to see what happens here. Obviously, Iowa has pretty much, for the most part, had the edge against Maryland. When you look at it, it's really one of those things I don't see. I don't have any positivity going into this game. If we're going to keys and things we got to do, like I said, Keldon Johnson is probably the best running back in the Big Ten. Caleb Johnson, I'm sorry, not Keldon Johnson. He's an NBA player. Caleb Johnson. See, the Terps stress me out. I forget names. Caleb Johnson, he has pretty much, as I mentioned, led this team. When he's over 100 yards, he's dominating. They win. When he's under 100 yards, they're 0-3. Against UCLA, that was the last game they played. 49 yards on 18 carries. Now, the Terps are doing a decent job against the run. They're only giving up 3.6 a carry per attempt and 115 per game. And on the season, Caleb Johnson, who is a junior, so he could come back next year as well, 188 carries, 1,328 yards, and 20 touchdowns. So you got to stop Caleb Johnson. Keep him under 100 yards. That's all I can tell you, because if you let him go off, Iowa looks to run the football. Iowa wants to run the ball. Iowa wants to basically play keep football. I know they have a new offensive philosophy. They're scoring more points, but their offense has kind of stalled out as well. The last time they played, was it in 2021? That's the last time these teams played. And Maryland got beat like a drum. Oh, my God. They got beat 51-14 last time they played. Now, do I think it'll be that bad of a game on Saturday? No. I actually think Maryland is going to keep this game kind of close. I think Maryland and Rutgers was, 31-17. That game was maybe a little bit closer than the score indicated. Rutgers pulled away late, obviously, with some basically Maryland couldn't get off the field on third down, and they just pretty much shred them. But since 2014 to 2021, Maryland has 1 win, 3 losses. They've lost the last 3. And they're 1-1 at home. It was a home win, 0-2 on the road, 1-3 in conference. The first matchup, 38-31, last 4 matchups were all decided by an average of 16.75 points, as mentioned, 51-14 victory. And as mentioned, the first matchup at College Park, Terps won 38-31. Last time in 2015, 31-15, and 23-0 in 2018. Got shut out at 51-14. Which was a pretty good Iowa team, I believe, in 2021, 51-14. This Iowa team is not going to be playing in the Big Ten championship game, but they are still respectable. They still looking to be bowl eligible. They have 6 wins, so they're bowl eligible already, but they're looking for 9 straight years with at least 8 wins. 2 games left, 1 against Maryland, and their final game is against Nebraska. So that'll be interesting, but they probably, I think, should be favored in that game. It's a home game and a night game. So I could see them definitely beating Nebraska, getting 8 wins for the 9th straight season. So Iowa, a model of consistency I wish Maryland could achieve. I actually thought Maryland could possibly, like I said, win this game. As I came into the season, I was at about 9 wins. I said 7 at worst, 9 at best, maybe miraculously somehow. If they could get a bounce or 2, 10, because they don't play Ohio State, they don't play Michigan. I'm like, if this is the year going to shock the world, and essentially kind of be what Indiana is. Obviously, that's an anomaly. They're not going to be undefeated Indianas every year, but with this new college playoff format, it gives you hope that if you could just compete in your conference, you don't even have to make the conference championship game. You could have a chance. As you look at the Big Ten, Oregon's number 1, Indiana number 2, Ohio State and Indiana play this weekend. I think Ohio State can win like 7 to 10 points. I think that's how it's going to go. But I think it'll be a competitive game as well. 4-3. You lost to Minnesota. You lost to, obviously, Rutgers. You've lost to pretty much Michigan State. That Michigan State loss is huge because if you could have beat Michigan State, you would only need 1 win. You could beat Iowa, still get in, even with the loss to Rutgers. But you're down at the bottom with Purdue. We know Purdue is not a football school. We know Purdue is not known for their football program. They're 0-7, 1-9. As mentioned, you're a block kick away from being 0-7 yourself and 3-7. So you're at the bottom of the Big Ten. I mean, can Maryland and Purdue play for a bowl? Worst, whoever wins is not the worst in the Big Ten, and whoever loses is the worst in the Big Ten, and they both can get a trophy for that. That could be their bowl game. And I think Maryland might lose to Purdue. But as you see, Northwestern down there, Maryland lost to them at a Friday night. They laid the egg there off of a bye. No wins off of a bye, Mike Loxley. I know the chatter's going to come. He's not getting fired. He's got a new quarterback coming in. I think Billy Edwards' time is winding down. Like I said, I still would like to see MJ Morris maybe in one of these last 2 games get a couple of series possibly. Like I said, I think the Iowa game, I'm thinking like a 34-30 game with Iowa winning. I think it'll be a little more high scoring. I think Maryland keeps Johnson right around 100. He may get 100, 115. I don't see him going crazy. I think Maryland has done a decent job, as you see, giving up 3.6 in a 10. Obviously, Iowa's going to run the ball a lot with him. He's going to get a lot of carries, so he may grind out 100 yards on 25 carries, 26 carries, have 101 yards. You got to make them one-dimensional. And my main keys are, if I'm being honest, and like I said, I don't think they're going to win this game. I think they keep it close. I think they keep it within 10 points or less. What is this spread? I'm all over the place here. I'm going to say it is a 6.5-point spread. So I think Maryland covers that. And the over-under is 45.5. I think I'm taking the over as well. I think both teams. Well, then again, with Iowa, with this darn fourth-string quarterback, they're going to try to run the ball a whole lot. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because I feel like whoever the quarterback is, are they going to be able to get enough stops defensively in the secondary and get enough of a pass about that secondary? Because we don't have a good secondary. You have to be able to get pressure on a quarterback. Maryland is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten in the conference at getting pressure on a quarterback, in my opinion. They are mid at best. Like I said, they're good against the run, but on third down, doesn't matter if it's 3rd or 5, 3rd and 10. They play a lot of, it seems, man-to-man coverage. I don't know if they blitz a lot per se, but they play a lot of man coverage, it seems. And guys are just getting beat one-on-one. The wide receivers of the other teams, especially against Rutgers, are winning one-on-one against our DBs. We don't have a shutdown DB, a shutdown group of corners. We don't have the Deontay Banks or Jacorian Bennett's. They're not walking through that door. And I think as big of a concern as we got a new quarterback coming in, hopefully, if we got a list of priorities, we're going into Christmas. All I want for Christmas on my 2 for T. Obviously, we got the quarterback, but I need offensive line, defensive line, and secondary. However you want to rank them. Obviously, offensive line is first, in my opinion. Then second to that is going to be probably defensive line, just because you got to be able to get some guys who can get pressure. That will help out your corners because your corners are young. So in another year, adding some pieces, probably you're going to be better, I would think. You can't get much worse, like with the Ravens. So they'll get better just off of experience and repetition playing in these types of games. Let's get them together. Then if you can get some legitimate pass rushers, some legitimate guys who can push the pocket, then it helps out your secondary and make them look even better. So I think Miller is probably a senior. Is he a senior? Let me go back to the list of seniors. There's 2 of them. I don't want to read all 22 of them to you, but there are a lot of seniors on this team. Let me see if Glendon Miller, my guy, is one of them. Maybe he comes back for one more year. That would be great. Him with this team. We got Ryan Aitchison, Tommy Aikenshire, Darnell Brown, Maxwell Jones, Marcus Dumerville, Billy Edwards. Okay, Billy Edwards is going to be, but he might come back. I don't know if Billy Edwards may come back. I guess he's going to come back next year because he's probably got one more year eligibility. Ty Felton, Chance Hurley, Roman Hemby, I think he'll be back. Howes. I don't see. Oh, Glendon Miller. There he is. Prather. So Prather's not a senior, is he? Prather's a senior? I don't know if this list is right, but I think Miller is a senior. So let me know in the comment section about that as well. Real quick, I do got to show love to the special teams. Boomin' Bryce, our boy Bryce McPherson leads the Big Ten and 6th in the FBS with 46.2 punting average through 7 games with the minimum of 3.6 punts a game. Yes, Maryland punts a lot. He's had a 50-plus yard punt in 8 games this season, 15 punts at 50 yards or more this season, and he's 3rd most in the Big Ten, tied for most in the 12th most in the FBS, and he's tied for 8th most among the FBS and 2nd in Big Tens in punts down inside the 20. Brian McPherson, big shout out to you, my guy. He will be back next year as well, as I believe he is. Let me get his classification. He is a sophomore, so he's a redshirt sophomore, so he's got some time. So we got some pieces there, some pieces to build around. Sophomore tight end Dylan Wade had a career day against Rutgers. 7 receptions, 92 yards, a 44-yard long. Most receiving yards by a tight end since Corey Dyches had 108 in 2023, the season opener against Towson. Most yards in Big Ten games since Dyches had 106 against Purdue in 2022. I wonder what happened to Corey Dyches. He has some potential. But I like Dylan Wade. He's only a sophomore. He's really getting into the offense. You got Dylan Wade. You got Prather. It sucks you losing Felton. You got Howard. You got Hemby. You got Ray. You got McDonald. You got Malik Washington coming in. You can fix the offense. They have some skill players. Even with the loss of Felton, I think Wade steps up, has a big season next year, probably maybe one of the better Big Ten tight ends on the rise. Look out for him next year as one of your tight ends or players on offense to watch that people really may not know the name of. Look out for Dylan Wade. He's got the potential. He's like a receiving tight end. He can really go down the field as well. Maryland has scored at least 10 points in all 29 of his home games since the 2020 season. They're leading the Big Ten in passing offense, and they've thrown for at least 200 yards in 17 games. And 6 games this season where wide receivers had 100-plus receiving yards. Ty Felton with 5 of those, and Prather with 1. I don't care about the numbers. I mean, there's a lot of empty stats, a lot of empty yards. You're playing from behind. You have to throw. I mean, what are your wins? What are you doing offensively? Like I said, I think Loxley, Damon Evans, whoever else, the NIL program, the One Maryland Collective, I found out is what it's called. If you want to donate to that, we got to do something to get an offensive coordinator in here. We've seen it with, look at Iowa. They've gone offensive. I believe Penn State got the guy from Kansas. We have to get a young, dynamic, innovative guy on the rise who's not quite ready to be a coach, who can come in here maybe for, go ahead, be long, could be maybe 2 years, 3 years. Be the OC, build a rapport with Malik Washington. Well, if he's got Malik Washington, he's tied at the hip to Malik Washington. I could see this guy being here for a guy that maybe needs a little more seasoning, a guy that's on the rise, that's maybe ready to, if he's not a coordinator now, maybe a quarterback coach who's done good things, work with one of the best quarterbacks. What has somebody done in Miami with Cam Ward doing the quarterback coach or offensive coach down there, or pass game coordinator? Or maybe in Colorado with Shador, or Texas with Ewers. I don't know if it's someone at Alabama. I know Loxley has ties to Alabama. Is there someone down at Alabama possibly that can help out? Georgia, Kirby Smart. He's worked with Kirby Smart on the staff at Alabama. Is there a guy he can get that's a quarterback coach, a passing game coordinator, an offensive mind on the staff that may not be the specific coordinator, maybe getting his feet wet under the tutelage of Loxley, but bringing his innovative offense with a young quarterback, some weapons to build on. You can hit the portal hard. You got some recruits coming in. And the word is these guys want to be here for the long haul and play together. So Malik Washington is the catalyst of that movement. We got some guys coming back. We'll see what happens in the portal. We know we lost some pieces. It always happens. It's a war of attrition. You let guys go, you get guys in. But pretty much you have a middle-of-the-road recruiting class again. But Malik Washington with the quarterback, and if you can give him an offensive line, you're going to be in a lot of games because of that. We saw it with Lil Tua last year. They win a lot of games because of the quarterback play. So obviously Loxley can throw that thing around. He can throw it around. But I think the creativity, the unpredictability of the passing game has to evolve, as well as the run game has to be elevated as well. Hemby had a great game last week. I don't know why the hell he was not in the game in the second half. For what, maybe 2 or 3 plays? What are we doing? Somebody has to be Loxley. Like I said, I'm giving Loxley through next year. Like I said, 2025 is a big season because you bring in your quarterback. Obviously, he's a freshman. He may start day one. He may not. Could be Billy Edwards again. Who knows? But time will tell. But I want to see how he looks in camp. I do want to see him in the spring game. And another note here, Maryland has won 18 straight games when allowing less than 20 points. They're going to give up more than 20 this week. Like I said, I'm going Iowa 34-30. I think Maryland falls a little short. I think they maybe turn the ball over or beat themselves, as I mentioned. My keys are pretty much don't beat yourself. So no stupid penalties. That's pretty much every week. No turnovers. Got to win a turnover battle. Get off the field on third down. Okay? Get off the field on third down. Get pressure on the quarterback by any means necessary. If that means you have to blitz more. If you have to blitz some of these corners. You have to be creative and do some zone blitzes. Mix it up. And number 5, keep Keldon Johnson under 100 yards. Stop him by any means necessary. If you got to put 9 guys in the box, make them one-dimensional. Make them throw to beat you. Make them throw the ball for 400 yards. If they throw for 350 to 400 and they air rated out for 400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns with this new innovative offense, that's fine. because we know we're not winning at Penn State. Penn State has a lot to play for. They're in Happy Valley. It is what it is. The season's over. They're going to be 4-7, 1-7 in the Big Ten, probably eventually 1-8 with a record of what, 4-8. That's just unacceptable. They could at least have the reverse of that record. Like I said, the Michigan State game, laying against Northwestern on Friday night at home off of a bye. Rutgers, you barely won USC. Indiana, you were in that game. Minnesota, you got your ass whooped. Where do I keep going with this? Do you need me to keep going? I didn't even know this video was going to turn out to be this long. Maryland's going to lose on Saturday. It's the last home game. So you can find it for dirt cheap. And I think Iowa's defense, which is still pretty legit, when I remember, they're going to be tough. They're going to make it tough when it comes to running the football. They're not going to allow, I think it's going to be 54 degrees, so it'll be a good day of football. I don't think they're going to allow Maryland to run the football. I think they're going to be very, very stingy. They're going to make them get into third and longs. They're going to put Maryland in third and long. And I think they're going to have a tough time moving the ball against this offense. I think it may take them a little while to wake up. They may not wake up till the second or third quarter. So that's why I said they want to. If anything, you want to start fast if possible. You know what I mean? If you want to start fast, that would be very, very helpful. That's all I'm saying. And looking at the defense of Iowa, I just want to confirm some numbers before I get out of here. They are 320 yards per game. So they are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in defense in the Big Ten, 8th, 7th in defense. So they've only given up. Yeah, they've given up the outside of Ohio State and Penn State and Indiana, they've given up the least rushing yards, only 1,100 rushing yards. Oh no, 11. Yeah, they've basically given up some of the fewest rushing yards. They only give up 116 yards per game. They only give up 18 points per game. That is what sticks out to me. So I don't even know if Maryland's going to get 30. I may have to go to a lower scoring game because the spreads, they do have this as a lower scoring game. They only give up. That's the key right there. They only give up 20 points per game. I'm sorry, 18.2 points a game. 116.8 yards on the ground, but only 18.2 points a game. That's going to be the difference in the game. Can Maryland score over 20, 25? Can Maryland get to like 25, 30? If Maryland gets to 25, 30, they'll be in this game. But now looking at this defense and the way Maryland plays with penalties, and they're going to get third and long or first and long, second and long, not even third and long, first and long, second and long, commit penalties, turn the ball over, be one-dimensional, playing from behind, can't stop them. I think Maryland does eventually figure out this defense. Like I said, I think it's going to take them maybe to the third, maybe the way through the third quarter. They may go on a little bit of a run, but maybe too little, too late. Iowa could already be up 24, 10, 28-17. You know what I mean? So I do have Iowa winning 34-30. What did I say? 34-30? Yeah, I'm going 34-30. I think it will cover. I think it will be an over. I think it will be a situation where Iowa will just impose their will. They'll just wear us down eventually. I think Johnson will get going eventually. I think he'll have a couple of big runs if they keep, because Rutgers didn't even really run the ball like that. And Olujua, the running back for Rutgers, he grinded it out too. He had over 100 yards basically, but they made him earn it. So it could be a situation like that, but he just wears on you after a while and he gets into the end zone. I think Johnson may get 2 or 3 touchdowns this game. So we'll see what happens. But sound off in the comment section. Unfortunately, the previews and most games are going to be coming to an end as we are in the playoff game of the season. So one more game after the state. And then we're in the championship game. College football playoff. We will be doing a bracket reveal for that, previewing the games for that. So make sure you comment down below. Let me know your favorite thing about the Maryland Terps team this season, your least favorite thing. What do you think about this game? Do they win another game? Do they somehow become bowl eligible? What's the score? Keys. What do you think about this team going into next season? Leave your favorite emoji. Leave your favorite food. Whatever. Any comment helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new. We do Maryland content throughout the season. We'll have a Maryland basketball preview coming up with them against Villanova this Sunday. That preview will probably come to you this weekend, probably Saturday. And then we have Washington Commanders previews on the channel and post games, Ravens previews and post games as well. So hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps out tremendously. If you like what I say, if you don't like what I said, is the season over? Am I being too pessimistic? It's over. It probably was over week 2 when they lost to Michigan State. There was hope maybe when they beat USC they could maybe go on a little bit of a run, but that never came to life. And Rutgers was that last winning game, winnable game in my opinion. So, SOT, same old Terps. I'll let you see the wonderful picture on my way out the door. Subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. God's favorite host. I'll see you guys in the next video right here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your Maryland coverage how you want it, when you need it. The face of every Terps fan as we deal with another tough loss and another uninspiring, underwhelming football season for the Maryland Terps. God's favorite host signing off. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.
Even know